What's going on, everybody? It's Tyler and Haley
Yep.
with
Tell All with the Thompsons.
podcast, and we are here today. We're going to pick up right where we left off, talking about the factory wood coatings that we provide at Old to New, and really not talking about the specifics about the coatings or exactly what they are, but talking about why we started using the coatings, what got us into using the coatings, and where were we whenever we decided, hey, this is the time.
Yep.
The time is now. If we do not make the jump, if we not make that switch to using these luxurious factory wood coatings,
Yep.
I don't know what we're going to do. We've just been kind of wasting time.
Money.
We're kind of holding ourselves back.
Yep.
We're making, dumb decisions, it seems.
Wasting a lot of time.
Exactly. When it comes to using a coating that's inferior, it just seems like we were just running around like a chicken with his head chopped off. So let's dive right into it.
Yep.
And let's talk about first, where were we, Haley, whenever we made that initiation, decision?
We were on vacation, actually, which that's funny. I say vacation because we were still talking about the business and work and stuff. And when we got the message on Instagram.
Where were we at on vacation, dude? Slow down. Slow down. You're always like, hey, guys, let me tell the story real quick. No, just slow it down. Tell them where were we on vacation? Where do we like to vacation? Everybody knows. Where were we?
We were in Panama City Beach.
Okay.
And we were, like I said, on vacation with the kids.
Yeah, we heard you. Vacation.
Yep.
Kiddos.
And I don't like that at all. Scratch that. Go way back. I want to cut that out, and we'll
cut it out. This is tell all with the Thompson.
Okay. Anyways,
let's tell it all.
Okay.
No cutting it out.
Yes.
No bullshit. Okay. Let's go. Give it to me raw. That's what you said. That's what you told them. Give them what they want.
Okay. We're gonna go back to where
he's gonna put all this in there too.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
so we're gonna go back to when we were on vacation in Panama City Beach.
Yeah.
And we were with the kids, and we were talking about where we wanted to go from here.
On the beach.
We actually had a conversation at that point of, do we even want to stay in Indiana? Do you remember? Because we were like,
of course, yeah.
Look around at what they're doing here.
Yes.
That's what got us to spark that conversation, because they were using 1K and 2K coatings down there. Almost every painting company that we did research on
had distributors down there.
Exactly.
Right.
And I remember you said, I don't really have any knowledge on these products. I just know that they are superior to what we're offering from the big box stores.
Right.
Their benefits are out of this world. And I was just kind of looking at you like, scared, because I'm like, we've been using the same products. Like, we know the products, and
we were told this is the best. We were told this is what you use.
And we never really had any issues. So I was scared to step out of our comfort zone. But you were all in. You were like, I'm ready to try something different.
Right. And then after talking with one of the largest painting contractors in Tampa, he moved from the Michigan area down to Tampa. He completely took over the market. And I decided, okay, if I'm going to make the switch to use a coating just like he's using, I need to talk with him. I need to pick his brain, find out exactly why he started using it, what the successes are using that coating. What did I do? Picked up the phone, dialed, called him. We had probably an hour conversation. We dove right into how to use the coating, mix the coating, what the benefits are going to be for the clients, the pros, the cons of using this one over that one, and just going over the marketing side as well, and how we're going to market these coatings instead of just saying, yeah, we can paint your cabinets.
Well, he was so impressed, I feel like, when he talked to you, because he didn't know you from Adam. So you just told him, hey, this is my business page. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I've been doing it for X amount of years. And he's like, well, let me look you up. And he was very impressed that one, we had so much success using big box stores,
Right.
and that we never had any complaints really about utilizing the products, because he's like, listen, big box store products, that's asking for trouble when you're painting
they're meant for
cabinets,
trimming doors,
or when you're painting cabinets. And when we told him that was our primary focus, he was like, oh boy, he was like,
without saying it, he's like, you came to the right place. You're speaking to the right people.
Yes, because like I said, we had just got into the refinishing of kitchen cabinets. So we were utilizing the same products that we had always used on furniture. Didn't really know any different. And yeah, he said, I just remember you telling me, he said, oh boy. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Like, are we going to run into issues?
Yeah.
But you could potentially. Yeah. And let's kind of talk about the last job that you did with the big box store products. I think you should tell them about what made you decide that when you were on the job site that you wanted something better for our clients.
Oh, the last job that I did with big box store
to tie
products.
in with why you called him in the first place.
So right before we went on vacation, we did one of the largest jobs to date.
Two-tone. Yep.
Largest two-tone kitchens. Absolutely gorgeous. It was like a cream color and an off-white, and it had, two double ovens and all of that detail to where
the layout was perfect.
Yeah, you really had to have
it was a dream kitchen.
You had to have your two-tone on point, your laser tape 100%. Lines there. Especially for that big of a job, and with the coatings we were using, making sure that they were drying out before we applied the tape to do the two-tone. It was so much that was involved.
Well, it took us over, I think, 12 days to finish.
Was it 12 days? 9? I thought
it
was 9 to 12.
It was a lot. It was a lot of days.
That was way before.
That was way before our 5-day process,
yeah.
Which I can't wait to touch on. But
right. And what makes it so more efficient now.
Exactly. Right. But those were long days.
Yeah.
With those products.
Yeah. So, we were doing that very large kitchen right before vacation. Luckily, we pulled it off right in the nick of time, and everything was gorgeous.
Clients loved it, still love it.
Yeah, nice.
Just saw it in person, I think, 6 months ago? And
right, yeah, 3 years later. But yeah, she chose, a bunch of different hardware for that job, maybe 3 different sizes. And, we conquered that one. And that's what really just all the issues that I had gone through on the job and trying
that no one knew about.
Right, yeah, and trying to overcome them, and mainly just the dry time, and how the product wants to hang, and like say whenever you go to tape on a product, just having to wait, and sit around. It's not really my forte,
Well, and I think trying to explain it to the client too.
Right.
Is difficult because they don't really understand the logistics behind it, except for the fact that, wow, the dry time
makes you look a little incompetent when you're like, just
and you're in this beautiful
ass.
home and you're just sitting there like waiting on paint to dry,
falling
literally
asleep, on their porch.
They're like, why is Tyler sitting out on my front porch right now, sound asleep with his mouth open?
I see him on the Ring camera.
Exactly.
He's been sitting there for an hour.
We're at work and Tyler's been napping for 2 to 3 hours. He's just waiting on paint to dry.
We can explain this.
Yeah, we can explain that this coating just takes forever to dry.
And not only that, it's going to off gas and try to cure out for 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
And do you remember when you showed up to that job and you were getting prepared to take all the doors and drawers off and clean and do your prep? It was a Sunday, which now we never work on Sundays, but
right, yeah. A lot of things have changed since.
Because of the process. But you show up on a Sunday, you're like, I got to get a head start. She's making breakfast for all these kids.
Of course.
I think you said 8 to 9 students.
It was a damn slumber party in there. And I'm like, hey.
She offered you breakfast. Remember, you were like, oh, I love her already. But I remember you were like, this is going to take 30 days to cure. This is like my worst nightmare because there's so much traffic. There's so much going on. You could already tell that this was the house that everyone wanted to be at.
Yeah, and being the heart of the home and the way that the house was set up, and
that's where
they
everyone
mainly
went.
Go from the back door right through the mudroom,
right
through the
to
kitchen.
Get some food.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of how the house was set up.
And she loved to entertain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, friends were coming out throughout the entire process, watching what you were doing.
Half the school was coming through there. I mean, it was busy.
She's going to listen to this and be like, I absolutely love that they're including me in
she
this.
may cherish every bit of this. We love you though.
Without name dropping.
Right, yeah.
But I just remember when you would bring the stuff back to the shop, the pieces, the doors and the drawers, and you were like, oh man, I'm going to be here all night waiting on this to dry.
Oh, and I had to call her.
Multiple times
on her birthday, and she was out of town, right? And I'm like, hey, I'm kind of dealing with this.
It's going to be a couple more days.
And then I'm kind of looking at this color that they mixed, and she was real particular on that.
Oh yeah,
I called it a desert storm color. She was real particular on it, and she was like, oh yeah, I sent her the pictures. She's like, yeah, that does look a little different. And I'm like, oh shit, what did I do here? Like, I caused these problems for myself, right? But
where do we go from here?
Yeah, just using them coatings, that take forever to dry and stuff. It is what it is, especially with darker colors.
Exactly. But again, they weren't exactly formulated for
what we were
doing.
For kitchen cabinetry, right?
But people have been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. But we were like, we want to separate ourselves because what we're doing here is really cool. Yeah. And no one else in town is offering it.
But we want
with these products.
But we want to be offering a superior product
that no one else is offering. I wanted to be able to say that we were the first fine finish company in the Wabash Valley that was offering 1K and 2K products.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly? That's what I was getting into with her. If we would have offered that package, the 1K and 2K, the process would have been 5 days or less.
Right.
With that kitchen.
Yeah.
But we had no clue even about the 5-day process or that the coatings were able to do that until we did our research.
And ultimately, I didn't know what I was capable of doing until I unlocked all of the possibilities by using those factory wood coatings.
Well, and I think when you heard it from someone else too, someone else that had been doing it way longer than you, mm-hmm. that were utilizing those products that had already made that jump years ago. And I remember when you got off the phone with him.
I was all in.
You were all in. You were like, babe, this is.
I was ready.
You need to go on this website right now.
Yep.
Order all of these products.
I said order XYZ 1, 2, and 3.
And you said make sure it's on our porch.
Yep.
When we get back because we're doing it.
And you made it happen.
And yeah, we made it happen.
Yeah.
And we got back and we started testing these products.
Very important to test the products on each substrate. Be sure, you're doing the proper prep for the adhesion.
Yep.
Of course, we were going to do all
and
of that.
Make sure that we were making the best decision, not just going off of someone else's word.
Make sure it was going to do exactly what
they're saying it's going to do.
And what we were expecting and what we were looking for.
Exactly. Right? Because we were saying to ourselves, there's no way that we can offer kitchen cabinet refinishing. No one wants to be without their kitchen for days and days and days.
Weeks.
And back then, like with her job, the last one that we did with the big box store products.
Right.
You knew that. You were like, man, she was without a kitchen for a long time. Many days that she wasn't able to cook or, countertops were masked off, cabinets were masked because we were just waiting on paint to dry.
And me being a self-respecting painter, as I like to call it.
Very true.
I tend to think about
our clients. Yes.
The clients that I'm working for, right? The ones that are paying me to refinish the kitchen. She didn't know.
That's the thing too. Like we always do that to where we're constantly thinking about, oh, is the client thinking that it's taking forever? Or Is the client, you know, what is she thinking about it?
Meanwhile, the client's out getting her nails done,
Yeah, she's not
getting
bothered
the
at all,
petty.
but we're like,
She's
you
like,
know,
this
is
is
she?
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the end all, she loved it.
Of course.
You know, loves her kitchen. She doesn't remember the days without it, but we do.
Right.
We still talk about it. We're like, wow, now that we do it in 5 days or less with the coatings, and our clients are like, oh, you're only going to be here for 3 days. You're in your shop 2 other days. We can utilize our kitchen. There's no smell.
Yeah.
Our dogs don't have to be boarded.
Move the refrigerator out so you can utilize it. We set up
Well,
that
now
dust
people
barrier.
see it as such a luxury service that they'll go on vacation just like we did. And they'll say, hey, here's the door code. Go right on in. They leave on a Monday. They come back on a Friday. They have a brand new kitchen. And they're just like, wow.
But it's not always like that, you know, and that's part of it, you know, is the SOPs that now we have set in place for our business, right? You know, we would come in and we would have to figure out, what do we do first, right? Are we going to,
Yep.
you know, do this, that, and the other first? Or are we going to, you know, set up the dust barrier now and then start sanding? All of those types of things to set ourselves up for ultimate success.
Exactly. But we've done it every which way.
Right. Exactly. And then now we know, okay, this is the right way to do it.
The best way.
This is the absolute most efficient way, the most proficient way to do this process, the 5-day process. We have it down to a science.
But even touching base on that, sometimes people still don't believe.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What we say.
Even to this day. Yeah.
I mean, to call anybody out, but
hey, believe nothing you hear, half of what you see.
Exactly.
I totally
we have clients that I'll lay it down. I mean, I will give step by step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tell them exactly what to expect, tell them the coding, the benefits, all of this stuff.
Probably 3 different times.
And they'll still look at you a couple days later and be like, so it's not going to just peel off, or
I'm not sure how it's going to hold up over here,
or you're going to spray it. And I'm like, did you listen to, you know, anything that I just said? Because I promise I'm not lying. Like,
hey, that's why we're literally going to tell it all, because it needs to be told. Some things need to be told.
Our clients are always blown away by the end of it, but they do. I think sometimes they don't know what to expect because they have a narrative in their mind of painted kitchen cabinets. They just want a different look to the cabinet.
Yeah, just a color change. I just want a simple color change.
Just a color change. They don't get that it's like factory coatings, that we're just basically a small shop for the factory. We're spraying out, you know, factory
we just
coatings
paint cabinets.
on your
cabinets. A lot of people, yes, they will look at it as you just paint cabinets and blah, blah, blah about what you're using. You're just trying to sell what you're using.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think some people think that we like get our products for free. Sponsored. And I'm like, I wish I was, because it's really expensive.
Hey, that'd be cool, you know, but it's not, you know, the cold hard truth is, you gotta spend money to make money.
True.
And I'm spending a lot of money
in the business for the fine finish part of it
to make,
because we could just go back to the big box store products of, you know, here's no warranty, here's this, like, you get what you get.
Yeah, but
we don't know how it's going to hold up in 2 to 5 years.
At the end of the day, you know, we want what's best for each clients. And every piece.
Yes.
Right?
And they believe that after we leave.
Right. Yeah. They believe nothing that they hear.
Even if they've been following us forever.
Then and they see it.
And they like, see all the videos. They see all of the, you know, behind the scenes, the before and afters. Mm-hmm. Then we come into their house and I think they're still kind of like on the fence because they've never seen it.
Right.
And, you know, with their eyes, like throughout the 5-day process. So then when you do it and it's done and it's beautiful and you could take their cabinet door and just soak it with water. And they're like, oh, wow.
Outstanding work, son. Outstanding work. Most of my clients are like, refer to me. Son.
Exactly. They let you know really quick. Like,
I know that I've
were
done
on
something.
it.
I know I've done something, a little bit of something.
And then they're always like, can you do this also?
Yeah.
Can you come back for more?
Sure, Mr. Repeat Client.
Yes.
I love that.
I love that about our business. I love being able to, when we go on day one and they're still on the fence and they're asking a bunch of questions, I think just to hear it, you know, again, just as a comfort, peace of mind, like, okay, this is really what is going to happen and I'm going to love the results. Like they almost have to convince themselves that this, you know, big investment is going to pay off, you know, because
oftentimes those clients that had those worries and had those thoughts at first and those
they're
doubts,
asking you for dinner on Friday. You'll be
right. But then those are the ones that are like, they really get it. You know,
exactly. And I love that.
Yeah. They totally understand.
The client testimonial afterwards is just on point. And I always
feel confident pissing on their cabinets or their dog.
What is the obsession?
Or their dog. I figured it out. That's what's really going on here. Hey, listen.
You need to specify, are you pissing on the dog or is the dog pissing on the cabinet?
Dogs are pissing on these cabinets. It's not good.
Why are you just singling out dogs, though? People do have cats.
I don't even want to talk about the cats on the cabinets. I don't even want to talk about that. For many reasons.
I'm just saying.
Sally, I love your Sphinx cats. But I don't want to talk about the cats on the cabinets. I've had many encounters since then.
Oh, well, speaking of Sally and her being her cats, that was amazing testimony to the products and just the whole process because they were coming in. Do you remember?
Yeah,
you had just got done spraying. You had just got done spraying and you tried everything to keep them out, but they were nosy.
Yeah, poor cats. They just wanted Sally home. They didn't know
they
what
were
I
like,
was doing in there.
Where is Sally?
Yeah. They didn't know what was going on in there, bro.
Thank goodness that our primer and top coats dry so quickly because you FaceTime me and you're like, there's one and there's the other. And I'm like, wait, are they on top of the countertop
like an hour later, you know?
Like,
and I'm
what
just
is
like
going on?
Filling the holes in the primer.
Yeah, you're
and
like,
stuff.
here I have two friends.
Yeah. And I had not seen them until maybe after I started spraying, and they were like, hey,
we've got to protect the house. We've got to make sure that.
Yeah, then they made it known. I think she had them locked up though, and they were literally like jumping at the door, and I kept wondering what the boom, boom, like the bam. I kept wondering what was going on, and then I love it. Here's these little Sphinx cats.
I love it,
and I've never even seen Sphinx cats in person.
Really?
No, not until then, right? So I'm in here just spraying away, filling holes.
I think that's funny. You avoid the cats because you always said that you were allergic to cats, just so I wouldn't bring a cat home.
Maybe because the hair, but these things, hairless. So I look over, right? I'm in the zone, right? I turn around. I think I'm seeing stuff. No, I was believing. I tell you what. 2 of them, not 1, 2 Sphinx cats right there. Bam, bam. That one was jumping up on the cabinet. I'm like, no way. This is not good. So, I'm calling Sally. I'm like, hey, you got a problem. She's like, what's the problem? I'm like, the rats in that house.
It was kind of like the people that I expected to be our biggest cheerleaders were silent ghosts. They were nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you're watching my story. Every time I post something, business, personal, I see the same people that like that see the story.
Take the fucking gloves off and tell them then.
Don't.